I'm Tom Neely, and you're watching MadhouseTV.com.
Stay tuned for the Long Island Filmmakers Show starring Jerry Parisi, right here on MadhouseTV.com.
Like you don't wanna listen when I'm talking to you. You think you ought to do, baby, anything you wanna do. You gotta be crazy, baby. Just gotta be.
Hi, welcome to the newest edition of the Long Island Filmmakers Show, hosted by me, Jerry Parisi. And today we have a very interesting guest who I'm very proud to say is part of the Madhouse TV family. Our family is comprised of different types of shows on Madhouse TV, and some about music, some about religious things, and some about filmmaking. But today we key in on an amazing singer. She's only 15 years old, and she's also the star of Rock and Roll University. Ladies and gentlemen, I give you Miss Katie Zimmer. Katie, how are you? And welcome to my show.
It's so different being interviewed than interviewing.
How do you feel about that?
It's interesting. You know, it's nice to be able to switch between the two. I like it. It's really fun to be able to sit here and interview guests and then be able to be interviewed.
Well, that's a thrust in your life, I understand. Besides the music, you have some sort of a personal want or need or connect to become an interviewer. And you know what? It's a lot of fun to do all that good stuff, too.
It is. You get to learn so much about so many different people, experience so many different events, and that's honestly what I really like about it.
And is that something you like better than music? I don't know.
I wouldn't say better than music. I'd say it's another aspect of music because it all ties back into music. Because if I was going to interview, I'd do music events and other things like that. So I think it all ties back into the general idea of being music and having music revolve around my life.
It's true. And you know, you have the wonderful show Rock and Roll University. And from what I understand, it's one of the top 5 shows on this station. Which,
it is?
That's what I heard.
Oh, my goodness.
Well, being there, I mean, it is a funny show, and I did watch you a couple of times from the audience. I was impressed. I love what goes on, and you're certainly all over the bumpers, especially yelling at Sly that he missed the .com. That was great. But tell the viewing audience who may not know your show, because they're keying in on mine as a filmmaker show, and why I'm talking to you about this is because you are primarily a TV show, which falls under that genre. Tell me about your show. Tell everybody what it is about your show that makes you different.
Well, my show was created a couple months ago, and it's called Rock and Roll University with Cates and Sly. And it's a really cool show because we bring on every show an adult professional and a child up-and-comer. And it's based around different themes. Like next week, this coming Wednesday, we have a Broadway theme.
Oh, that's nice.
And it's we have a lot of up-and-comers showcase their talents, and we have a lot of professionals talk about what they do. So also there's an Ask Sly portion where you get to learn a little bit about music. So it's really diverse, and it really, again, generalizes back to the whole music, how everything ties into it, and it's really fun. I met some great people, and I'm loving it. I really am.
You have a band on here, those young men that were so...
Yes.
Polished, so clean, so good looking. Are they your regular band, or is that your backup band, or
They
who are they?
are my regular band for events and anywhere that we are needed at gigs. They're also the house band for the show. They are amazing, absolutely great, and I couldn't ask for a better band, honestly.
So let me ask you something. Sly,
Yes.
he, from what I understand, is a graduate of Juilliard and some of the big
Yes.
things that he's done. Is he somewhat of a mentor or a manager to you guys, or is that more just for the show because he's got that tremendous wealth of music?
I wouldn't say he's our manager. He's, again, what you say, for the show.
Okay.
But he also is the school director. So he helps coordinate gigs that if we're going to through the school and helps us learn songs for the show. I wouldn't call him a manager because we're all separate.
Okay.
But together, when we're on the Madhouse stage for Rock and Roll University gigs, we're one.
He's a lot of fun to listen to. He's got a lot.
He is.
But in your resume,
Yes.
I see that you have performed at, I guess, Duck Stadium, but it's not really called Duck Stadium. It's called what? City something? City Field?
No, City Field is totally separate.
That's-
I wish I sang at City Field.
Well, you'll be singing at Yankee Stadium, I'm expecting soon.
Let's
No,
hope.
it's not called City Field. Oh, Bethpage Stadium.
Yes, Bethpage
That's
Stadium,
what it is.
yes.
Bethpage, and sponsored by Bethpage Federal
Yes.
Bank. I don't know why I was saying city. I guess bank versus bank.
Yeah.
But you sang there. What did you sing? The national anthem or what?
Yeah, I've been there numerous times. It's always great singing for the Ducks. I started there a couple years ago, and basically since I live so close, if anyone cancels or they have a last-minute spot, they give me a call. Can you be here in 20 minutes? Yes, I can. Yes, I can.
Yeah, 20 minutes, no problem.
Through the summer, I think I've sang for them about 8 or 9 times.
That's an amazing thing. And you're 15 years old.
Yes.
And at first, my youngest guest was Jackie Ziri, filmmaker. She was 17, but you're 15.
Yes.
I guess my next will be 9 years old. But, but you've accomplished a lot. And that just says a lot for you guys. I mean, the focus of you alone. And when I hear you belt out songs, I got to tell you, like the rest of the audience, I got chills. You really,
Thank you.
you're amazing. And you will be singing a song for us a little later on, I hope.
I will.
And what's the name of that song going to be?
People get ready.
People Get Ready.
Yeah.
Now, let me ask you something. How did you get involved with this whole thing on Madhouse TV, and suddenly you evolved into one of the top 5 shows? How did you do that?
A couple years ago, I started out as a guest on Madhouse on a couple shows that were running.
Okay.
And I just loved it, and I kept getting invited back to do more shows, and I became, you could say, a regular on Madhouse.
Okay.
And as time goes on, I became friendly with everyone who works here, and we all became a family, and we were talking about doing my own show, and here we are now with my own show.
I want to say this about Tom and Vicky Mealy, and of course Tommy Marr and Janine.
Yeah.
From the moment I stepped forward in this studio, they became family to me, and I didn't know them. I came walking in just to say hello and see the place, but
Yes.
tremendous business people. I think that if anybody comes on this station, they're very lucky. They're blessed. And I don't use the word blessed often. I'm not that religious, but I do, feel I'm spiritual enough to say that. But they take pride, from what I can see, in all the shows. They really mentor people. And, I'm proud to be on this channel.
I've learned so much.
You can. And I think Tom Mealy, from what I can see, his programming skills, they're incredible. He's
Yeah.
back and forth, and the team just never ends. I mean, the vacuuming is a different story. But I think everybody carries their own weight.
Yeah,
So you go to Comac High School,
I do. I am a sophomore.
and is music more of your, I guess, where you want to be someday, or more on the announcing side, or like the reporter side, or being so multi-talented? I guess you got great avenues, but where do you want to go?
Well, again, it plays back to the whole idea that I am still 15, and I'm not supposed to know what I want to do yet. It's a learning experience. As I keep interviewing, I keep realizing the pros and cons about it.
Okay.
I always love singing. I'm not sure what I want to go into, but I guess as I finish high school in a couple years, I'm going to have to make that decision and
Yeah.
figure out where I best fit.
Well, you're at the age that people do get started things like this. It may sound
I mean,
strange.
I mean, I can volunteer at different studios and help out and do different things that I want to try, like intern,
Right.
and see what I want to do. But I'm not going to pigeonhole myself into anything yet.
And you do, from what I understand, sing at a lot of charities.
I do.
Yeah, tell me about some of those. What's some of your favorite charities? What do you do, and how do you get out there so big?
Well, sometimes I get calls and people ask me, do you want to do this event? Do you want to do this for charity? And honestly, I have to tell you, I don't think I've ever turned down singing in a charity
No, I
event.
don't think you would.
I honestly don't think I have. And I don't think I ever will. No matter if I'm sick, if I don't feel good, if I don't want to go because I'm tired or whatever, being a teenager, I always go. Because I feel like since I was sick most of my life, it's a good thing to give back.
Oh.
The time that I think I should give in. And
Sure.
it's one of my favorite things to do. I'm singing at a Great Neck Auto Show on Sunday. I'm not really sure what that's for. I know it's for something.
It might be for ailing automobiles.
Yes, yes, yes. I'm not really sure what it's for, but I try and do a charity event each and every weekend.
That's very nice.
Yeah.
Now, tell me about the high school, Comac High School.
Yes.
And is it hard being someone who's on TV? Is it hard being almost, you walk around like a celebrity, I'm sure, and the only person I can equate you to is I can't think of her name at the moment, but it'll come to me. Is that old age thing going on?
Yeah.
Christina Aguilera. And from what I understand of the history of Christina, she was, let's put it this way, she didn't have the easiest time, especially because she had to wind up becoming homeschooled. This is what I had heard and read. And that was because the jealousy of what goes on. Do you wind up with situations like that in your school? Or?
In all honesty, not many people know about it.
Oh, okay.
I'm not the kind of person that goes around and talks about it, that brags about it, and really puts it out there. I feel like if people want to know about it, they can come and ask me, and I'll gladly tell them. But I don't want to be walking around like I'm better than everybody else, because there are so many kids in that school with talents that I don't even know about.
Wow.
Some people that could be going to amazing places just for art or fashion or anywhere. So I don't want to seem like I'm better than anybody else. I'm just different.
Wow, how down to earth are you? Amazing. Boy, I guess that keep reaching for the stars and keep yourself grounded. I think
Yeah.
Casey Kasem said you really exemplify that.
That's really important to me.
Do you get to sing on situations in the school ever or what?
Actually today I just had a meeting performing a pep rally, which I'm really excited about because I like singing in front of the school. I like making it known that I can sing.
Sure.
Not putting it out there, but just letting it be known. And this year, sophomore year, freshman year was a little bit harder to get into different events because I'm a freshman.
Right.
So this year, I'm trying a little harder to do different events like homecoming or any different little things that I can do just to say, you know, I'm here, I can do it. If you need me to sing at an event, call me.
Who are some of your inspirations? I mean, you must have some great ones out there. Who do you think you'd love or to emulate, or not so much emulate, like be like them, but where they are in the world?
This is going to sound different to you.
That's all
I'm
right.
not going to go and say I want to be like Selena Gomez or Ariana Grande or anybody up in there.
They're good.
I'd honestly want to be like my older brother, Matt.
Oh, your older brother, Matt.
Yeah.
That's very interesting. He is the gentleman that works
He works in movies.
in movies,
And-
Universal. Is it Universal?
And he also, no, he works for...
Warner. It's one of the big ones.
Oh, geez, it is slipping my mind what he works for, but he just...
that old age thing,
He just
isn't it?
moved back to New York. He's opening up his own, his branch off of the studios called Mad Riot Productions.
Mad
and
Riot Productions.
It's not so much that he's a superstar and everybody in Hollywood knows his name.
Yeah.
It's he used to be back and he used to play music, and he still does.
Okay.
But he really mentors me in the way that he tells me it's okay to be different than everybody else, not singing pop, and sing what I want. And he teaches me really hard lessons at a really early age. Not that I'd want to be where he is because of course I'd want to be known as for my music.
Sure.
But I think the way he teaches me and the way he's mentoring me is really what I look up to.
So that's invaluable to begin with. How many years older is he than you?
He is 27.
Okay.
So
That's, well, 15 from 27. would be
I think
like 12 years?
Yeah, about. I'm not good at math.
What type of music do you like to sing the most?
It's hard because, of course, everyone expects me to be doing pop, but I think the music that I love to sing the most is probably blues, jazz.
Blues and jazz. Wow,
Yeah.
that's interesting.
Yeah.
Tell us about your song you're going to sing.
The song I'm going to sing is People Get Ready. The version I'm doing is by Jeff Beck and Josh Stone.
Okay.
And it's really blues and jazz, and I really, really like it. It's a mashup of Waiting on the World to Change, Stay With Me, and People Get Ready. So it's a trifecta.
That's great. I can't wait to hear this.
Yeah, definitely.
All right, then. I guess our next step is to ask you to set across the way, and if you could possibly do that. And I guess in that point, we'll have a commercial or two.
Yeah?
Yeah, I guess that's what we're going to do.
Okay. I'm totally.
YesWeCare.net is a 501c3 charity that provides help to veterans and their families. Please visit YesWeCare.net and donate in any way you can by purchasing our beautiful framed prints or relaxation CDs and DVDs, even smooth jazz CDs. YesWeCare.net. Remember, our troops are on their way home. They need all the support they can get. YesWeCare.net.
Are you planning an event and want to include entertainment, but you're not sure where to turn?
Act1Entertainment.net has provided over 1,500 events with quality, affordable live entertainment at private parties, corporate affairs, festivals, bike rallies, and more. Act One will fit into your budget. They're friendly, reliable, and do all the legwork for you. They take all major credit cards. Log on to Act1Entertainment.net for a free, no-obligation price quote, or call 631-758-3505 for a brochure.
You'll be happy you did.
Hi, we're back, and we're here with Katie Zimmer, who's going to perform her song, People Get Ready. Ladies and gentlemen, Miss Katie Zimmer.
For the train to Jordan, pick it up,
about chills. Talk about chills. You want to sit down?
Okay, sure.
Let me move this out of our way.
Right.
Well, that just once again gave me some chills. Whoa. You really blast out a song,
Yeah.
and so okay. The idea is, if you can blast out a song like that, I can imagine how great you'd be as an announcer or something else. Because for you to say, "Well, I'm not really exactly sure where I want to go. Could be this, could be that." Whew. What was the inspiration for that?
That song?
Please.
I really love mashups. It's one of my favorite things to do because anyone can sing a cover. Anybody can sing an original. But I feel like it's totally cool when you can take old and new or whatever you want and put it together and make it one and the same.
You're going to be performing at the Veterans Home, I understand.
Not the Veterans Home. On September 28th, September 28th.
Yeah.
I'll be performing at John Engman Theater in Northport.
Oh, that's a great theater.
yeah,
that's,
it's
that's-
beautiful.
Oh boy, that's prestige right then and there.
We are doing a Veterans Home giveaway event.
That's what it is, Veterans Home
Um,
Giveaway, which is going to be streamed live. I believe
Madhouse,
our
yes,
station's
Madhouse
doing
is
that.
streaming live. I believe it starts at 7:30. I'm getting all messed up. Starts 7:30.
That old age thing.
Yes. It's going to be a great event.
Yeah, that's right. Actually, I'm going to be there. I didn't realize
Yes,
it's the
yes,
same
yes,
event.
yes.
So that's pretty amazing that that's just going to go down.
Yeah.
We get to see you in person sing again.
Yes, you do.
And how many songs do you think you're going to be doing for that?
Including my new song,
Yeah.
probably 4. So about 5-ish songs,
So 5, including a new song.
including the new song.
Can we talk about the new song a little bit?
Of course.
Oh, please.
Yeah.
Then enlighten us, treat us.
About a year ago, I heard a clip of a song from my voice coach, and I really loved it. And it took me a year to work on it and figure out what I wanted and get a message behind it. And it's finally done. I'm very excited. It's called Invincible. It'll be dropping on iTunes within the next month.
Oh, my gosh.
And it's a great song. It's really beautiful. It has a great message behind it, and I love it, honestly.
I can't wait for the debut of that song. That's going to be really good. And what are some of the other things you're doing that night there? Do you have any idea? Or
I do know I'm doing a couple songs. I'm not sure what they are yet. You'll have to be surprised. You'll have to come and be surprised.
I think they should be. Tell us, can we get tickets for that? Or what's the best way to do that, to
The
see you live?
tickets for the event, I think they run about $75 each.
Okay.
They are on the more expensive side, but I think all the proceeds are going to the home giveaway.
Okay, the home giveaway for the vets, that's what it is. Okay, good.
It's a great cause. There are so many veterans in the Suffolk County. I think it's the 3rd highest amount of veterans in the country are in Suffolk County, and it's a great event because they take houses that may be foreclosed in a neighborhood or beaten down, and they take it and they refurbish it. And not only does it help the value of the community go up, but it also helps the veterans who need a home.
Who need a home? Absolutely, sort of an incredible charity, if you ask me.
It is.
Now, if anybody is out there and said, gee, I want that singer for their new something or other, whatever it may be, theme song, or backup tracks, or even maybe someone out there wants to put you out there on an album, CD, whatever the case might be, how would they get in touch with you? And I know that your mom plays a big role. She's really your manager, am I correct?
She's my momager at the moment. Momager.
Oh, well, momager.
A momager. At the moment. She is my momager, and this is a part-time role. If you want to get in contact with her, is it okay if I give you? I would actually go through Madhouse. I would call Madhouse or email Madhouse.
That's a good idea.
And ask them to get in contact with me, because I always learn, don't put out your personal information on the web. But go through Madhouse and you can get in contact with me. They will gladly tell me all the information.
Because, like we said, this is a family, and it truly is a wonderful place to be. I love being here. The atmosphere at Madhouse, agree or disagree, very, very creative. And
No,
that's
I definitely agree.
cerebral, it's calm, I want to say drama-free is a very good way of putting it, but because I think everybody just has a good time when we're here, it doesn't go into anything other than creative fantastic and grayed out fun, you know?
I think we all appreciate what we all do.
Yeah.
You know, no matter if it's sound work or camera work, we all appreciate our job or our role in this entire studio.
It's true. It's true. So tell me, in our last words, I guess, we know you're going to be singing at that theater, and that's what date again?
That is September 28th.
And then I want to ask you a question. Do you have your own website or anything along those lines?
At the moment, I do not. We are setting everything up at the moment. It is all in progress. But I do have a Facebook.
Okay.
It's Katie Zimmer. It's pretty straightforward. I do have I don't really think anybody uses Instagram except, I'm not really sure who uses Instagram. But I do have an Instagram.
I'm glad you said that because I actually don't know much about Instagram. I'm on Facebook. I'm obviously on LinkedIn. Twitter, I just...
Twitter I use sometimes, but it's not a big thing. But Instagram, yeah, it's not the best way. I'd probably go through Facebook if you want to, yeah, Facebook.
I think that's the easiest way, too.
Facebook is probably the easiest
And what do you have, a page to like, Katie Zimmer like?
Yeah.
To that effect?
Yeah.
All right, so it's Katie, Z-I-M-M-E-R, Katie Zimmer. And your show airs on what days?
My show airs every Wednesday from 8 to 9. I'm messing up times. I'm getting all crazy here.
Sorry.
No, it's Wednesday to 8 to 9.
Yeah.
And I encourage you to tune in. This week we have a Broadway theme.
That's nice.
We have Saluna Studios coming in, and we have a child performer from Saluna Studios coming in. So if your child is interested, or anybody is interested, they do adults too in theater, or acting, or anything like that, I would totally encourage to watch the show.
That sounds amazing. All right, well, listen, I want to thank you
Thank
so
you so
much.
much. Yeah,
You're
for
one of my
having
first
me.
guests, except for Tom and Vicky Mealy in the original episode. But my plan is to get a lot of the different people from Madhouse TV on my show because
Yeah.
we can talk about shows. And
Absolutely.
That's the whole idea behind my show, the Filmmaker Show. So till next week, I'm Jerry Parisi, my lovely guest, Katie Zimmer here, singing many different things. Find her on Facebook, Katie Zimmer on Facebook, and watch her show. And
Wednesdays from 8 to 9.
Wednesdays, 8 to 9, right here on MadhouseTV.com.
Hi, my name is Dr. Tom Dow. We have a multidisciplinary practice in Melville and Ronkonkoma, New York, and we treat patients with many, many different conditions, from newborns through geriatric patients with numerous different techniques. There's a technique and a type of treatment for every class of patient. We have them all here. Here's my son Thomas, also a doctor of chiropractic, working on one of our patients' cervical spine. This patient has had chronic neck pain for many, many, many years, has been to a multitude of different practitioners with little or no response. And with our specialized techniques, she has improved tremendously and continues to improve on a daily basis. We have two practices, one in Melville and one in Ronkonkoma, New York. We are a multidiscipline chiropractic office. What that means is we have chiropractors, massage therapists, acupuncturists, psychologists, all working as a team and a network of outside professionals such as orthopedists and neurologists that we work hand in hand with to help determine what your injuries are and the best way to treat your injuries. I have the great pleasure of having my son in practice with me. We work hand in hand, father and son, to give our patients the best care possible, and a staff which is loving, caring, and you'll never have to wait at all in our office for service. Many times patients come into our office and they have what's called a soft tissue injury. Soft tissue injuries are like scars inside your body. If you've ever been cut on the outside of your body, you get a scar. The same thing happens inside of your body to your muscles and ligaments. So our job is to determine where those are, stretch the muscles, adjust the vertebra back into their correct position, and then refortify the normal structure with exercise. That's what we do best, and I hope someday you'll come see us at one of our 2 offices. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, our national anthem.
You're watching MadhouseTV.com.
Oh, no, much bigger.
You're watching MadhouseTV.com.
Bigger, bigger.
You're watching MadhouseTV.com.
Scream it out.
You're watching MadhouseTV.com. Yeah.
Hi, I'm Greg Pacino, executive producer and creator of Long Island Filmmakers TV show, hosted by Jerry Parisi. And you're watching it on MadhouseTV.com.
Like you don't wanna listen when I'm talking to you. You think you ought to do, baby, anything you wanna do. You gotta be crazy, baby. Just gotta be.
You're watching MadhouseTV.com.
Oh, no, much bigger.
You're
You're watching MadhouseTV.com.
Bigger, bigger.
You're watching MadhouseTV.com.
Scream it out.
You're watching MadhouseTV.com. Yeah.
Hi, I'm Greg Pacino, executive producer and creator of Long Island Filmmakers TV show, hosted by Jerry Parisi. You're watching it on MadhouseTV.com.
Like you don't wanna listen when I'm talking to you. You think you ought to do, baby, anything you wanna do. You gotta be crazy, baby. Just gotta be.
Hi, welcome to this edition of the Filmmakers Show, the Long Island Filmmakers Show. I'm Jerry Parisi, I'm your host, and today I have some very interesting guests. I have Miss Leslie Abbey. She is a filmmaker, and we'll be talking about her film today. And we have Diane Bauman, the CEO, president of Kidsy Entertainment, who's also done some wonderful tracks for some of Leslie Abbey's movies. And without further ado, I'd like to jump right into it. Leslie and Diane, welcome to the show.
Hi,
Thank
Jerry.
you for being here.
Thank you for inviting us. Thank you for having us.
Yes.
And I want to jump right into your movie, Leslie. Buffalo Nation sounds very, very interesting. And I want to, before we get right into it, say it, you can view this movie at the Cinema Arts Center on October 7th at 7:30 p.m. And that's right in Huntington, New York, the Cinema Arts Center. So please take the floor and tell us all about Buffalo Nation.
Well, I'm very proud of this movie. I do need to say that the Lakota people have been very open with me, and this is a documentary.
Okay.
And I've met some wonderful people, very caring people, and also some very troubled people. And even the people that are heads of the community are very concerned about what's going on, and the fact is that nobody is really reaching out to help them.
So this documentary, which I'm lucky enough that I'll be seeing come October 7th myself.
Thank you.
No, I'm looking forward to it. It's not a comedy by any chance at all. This is a real hardcore documentary about the life and troubles of this nation and how they get through it. Am I correct or what?
Yes, you're correct. And it's interesting for me as a therapist, because that's how I make my living, and go to many places, and this in particular, to go to the Pine Ridge Indian Reservation. I was introduced by Stephanie Schwartz, who wrote a paper called The Arrogance of Ignorance, Out of Sight and Out of Mind. And somebody sent me an email and said, you might be interested in this. And when I read the paper, I said, somebody has got to let the world know what is going on in Indian country today.
And that's in South Dakota?
South Dakota.
Okay.
And they're in the northwest corner, bordering Nebraska. And then, and they're mainly in Shannon County, which is one of the poorest, or it is the poorest county in this country.
Amazing. And let's flip over to Diane for a moment. Diane, you are writing or have written many songs for many of Leslie's movies.
Yes.
And Leslie, just how many movies have you done so far?
I've done 17.
17 movies. Okay. So Diane, of the 17 movies, about how many songs have you actually done for her?
Well, I've written songs for 3 of her movies.
Yeah.
I did a title track for her documentary, Little Shop of Wonders. That was about the old Long Island Museum of Natural History that used to be located in Belmont that shut its doors after, a century?
And the Long Island Rock Shop, they were in business for 48 years, including they had the museum.
Oh, wow.
And another,
And I wrote
She
also
wrote
for
wonderful
Bob's Rolling Reefer, which
Yes,
also
you
was an
did.
award-winning film. I wrote a couple of country western songs that was featured in that film. And then I also wrote the title track to Leslie's film, Caution Show Dogs, which is called Show Dog, which is how I got my start with my business, actually. I take the songs and I develop them into children's picture books.
Yes, the children's picture books. And I remember when we were on the Smith Sabatino show some years ago, that was where I actually proposed to Kelly Clarkson. Somehow we still haven't gotten that answer fully yet. But in fact, it was the same show. But you had these beautiful little toys, and these are incredible. Tell us about what's on your hand, first of all.
Well, basically, what this is a muff, see? And it's a handbag.
Okay.
But what's wonderful about this little invention is that I have a patent on this because I was able to form a handbag on both sides and utilize both sides of these pouches. See, in today's world, you know, on the outside, a pouch, you might want to put something like a chapstick, maybe a pen and pencil or a bus pass. But maybe on the inside where it's closest to the body, you might want to carry some lunch money, maybe your house key, maybe a cell phone. So, you know, you have a little bit more security on the inside. And it's amazing how nobody ever thought of that before, which was what enabled me to file the utility patent on it. And what's beautiful about it is that I can always change the styles. And I can make virtually any animal that I want to make. And the functionality, it's a multi-functional plushie.
A multi-functional plushie.
It's a handbag.
Handbag.
It's a muff, which is a hand warmer. And it's a plush animal.
And this is good for children, and they can do certain things like keep their lunch money close to them, things like this. But you also come with other things.
Yes, well, what I did was, let me just take this off my neck for a moment. What I did was, getting back to Leslie's film. When I wrote the title track, I took the CD. I made a CD, and then I took the lyrics. Oh, by the way, the Show Dog won Best Song in the USA.
Oh, congratulations!
From the Songwriters Guild of America, which is the oldest and most prestigious songwriting organization in the United States.
Wow!
So it took the national award. It also took the Eastern region. And what I did was I took, if you look through the book. The words that you see printed are actually the lyrics to the song.
Oh, I see.
So you can just take the CD out, pop it in, and sing along with it. And what I did with this particular book is I put a fact on every breed that's illustrated. So it's a little bit educational in nature. Now the children are starting to learn a little bit about the different breeds. And then I made a companion coloring book to go along with it.
Oh, that's nice. And that's very good quality paper from what I can see.
Oh, absolutely.
That's not cheap. That's about 120-pound cover stock with heavy gloss.
Yes, and
it's the advertising in me coming
everything
out.
complies with the regulations and the safety testing that we have to do today. Are 100% non-toxic and lead-free. Yeah. And what I did was I packaged it in a little carrying case. So, I mean, it's just wonderful. You can take this with you. You can play with it. You can, you know, when you're at the doctor's office, when you go on vacation. I mean, what a great gift.
You want to know what? You gave me one of those on the Smith Sabatino show.
I did.
And I want to tell you, it went right to my granddaughter. And Kendall still has that, and she plays with it. Often, you know, children play with many things. So that tied into Leslie's movies. Now, let's go back to Buffalo Nation, because that's what's going to be showing at the Cinema Arts Center in Huntington on October 17th October 7th at 7:30.
At 7:30 p.m.
7:30 p.m. Let's go back to that. Now, obviously, that set of people, they're very poor. I understand from reading some of the statistics that it's 150 times more prevalent, their suicide rate, than normal?
Yeah, actually the subtitle is "The Children Are Crying." And you have to understand that the situation that's happening now, today, or in modern times, started after the wars, the American Indian Wars, where they put people in a prisoner of war camp, and now they called it a reservation. So that's how we started with the reservations, which I didn't even know about. And so they've been left there with very little resources. We've turned them into a welfare state where they get rations from the Army. They call them, let me see, they're food rations.
Food rations?
Yeah. For the
you know, it's so odd to hear that. I mean, my wife and I, we tend to go with some good friends. As a matter of fact, the last time around, Violet and her husband, we went to Mohegan Sun. And we love Mohegan Sun. And of course, that's run by the Mohegan Indians.
Right.
But when I think of Indians today, and correct me if I'm wrong, and obviously I would be, I'm under the impression they all have huge gambling outfits or beautiful casinos or things like this. To hear what you're saying puts a completely different slant on life, especially for these Indians.
Yeah, I think that most Americans don't know there are 500 different tribal groups.
Is that right?
And 150, maybe there's a few more now, are recognized federally. So the tribal groups that are not recognized don't even get the benefits that you would if you were, recognized as a sovereign nation.
And let me ask you this, and if I asked you earlier, and it's for the viewing audience, what is the name of their tribe? They are the...
This is the Oglala Lakota Sioux, and they're one of the 7 bands of the Sioux Nation.
Oh, Sioux Indians.
The-
Okay,
yes,
those
the Sioux.
I've heard of, Sioux
Right.
Indians. Now, Diane, in this film, did you have anything to do with any of the background work on this one?
No, I did not
particularly?
work on this one with Leslie. No.
I see. But yours, tell me about some of the movies that you work on with Leslie that brings you back into the mix here.
I think it was the show dog that
Was the best.
basically Leslie followed around the various breeders and handlers, and it's the real deal. It's the real poop, as they say.
And many of
it's
the-
not like the spoof that they have Best in Show. And so Leslie, I would go with Leslie all the time to Westminster, and we would go to the various dog shows
On
around
Long Island.
Long Island.
A lot on Long Island.
Uh-huh.
Features
And
the
it was
top
very well
breeders on
received.
Long Island. Yes.
That's interesting. I mean, to understand how this all works, different levels of things, especially in the different level of the type of tribes there are. When you really get into this stuff, it's so different. Very interesting, I must say. So, with the show dogs, what was your idea for that? So, and how did Diane get wrapped into that?
Well, I used to breed dogs and show them. So,
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
So I knew many of the breeders, and they are a world of their own. This, the show dog breeders, which like the race car drivers or any
Sure.
different group. You
Sure.
have your own community, and I thought that they would be a real hoot to interview them and also to follow their dogs and their lives because they're totally involved with what they're doing. You're talking about live animals, and it's very competitive. They want the best for their dogs, and they want to breed the best dogs.
And did you happen to interview any dogs while you're at it?
Well, I almost walked away with one, but I thought better of it.
I happen to know I have a dog for sale.
Actually, Leslie, you had permission from the publisher to do that Ethel Merman song, which was going to be your title track. But I played a chicken song for you, and that's when you said, "Oh, can you write me the title track to this movie that I'm doing?"
Which one?
Show Dog.
Oh, Show Dog.
You were going to do another opening, another show. That's what
I
it was.
forgot.
Yes.
Forgot. It's been a while.
But then I was writing a chicken song for somebody that I played for. It was very cute. And she said, "Oh, maybe you can write something for me. I'm doing the show dog." What we do is I sit with Leslie. She like, for example, Little Shop. She played for me some of the parts that she was filming before it was finished, before it went into editing. And what I had to do was, like, remember we sat down at that restaurant. We sat down at a restaurant in Woodcliff Canal in Freeport. And what I tried to do was I tried to write a song that followed along the lines of what she was filming. So I had to sit with her to know what exactly was in the film, and then I had to make the song to fit it.
Yeah, sure, it's interesting. Where can we hear some of these songs? Are they on YouTube? I know that you also have your own channel with the service, the armed services, armed forces or something?
Oh, that's the military. I think I'm one of Long Island's newest military contractors. I just got a contract that I'll be filming for them for the Easter holiday. They'll be taking all these different sets. They really enjoy the concept. But getting back to your question, a lot of these songs I have already. They're on my website.
Okay.
Some of them
They're on my
Leslie's
website. We
website.
both have
So let's
websites.
go. What is your website?
I'm Kids, KIDZ, entertainmentinc.com.
And what is your website?
snowflakevideo.com. And actually, Snowflake was named after my Australian Shepherd that came from Snowflake, Arizona.
Oh, is that how that came
Yeah,
about? I
have
wondered
her-
how you got the name
yeah,
for that.
Snowflake. And it's interesting. People say, "Why do you want to keep that name?" I said, "Because my movies are like snowflakes. Everyone is unique." But you,
Oh,
yeah.
okay. So this being a
tribute to
filmmaker,
her.
oh, tribute to her.
Yeah.
I was going to say, this being a filmmaker show, I'd like to ask you a couple of technical questions if I can.
I may not be able to answer them, but you can ask me.
Well, yes, those questions. Diane, jump in if she needs. Okay. All right. What do you film on? What type of cameras?
Well, I started out with a Hi8 camera, and my sister is now a Tibetan monk. Sorry,
Okay.
nun. I was
Nun,
trying to say
not a
nun
monk.
and monk is no.
Sister
And we were pen pals for a long time. And she said, come to it, Northern India, and I'll introduce you to the Dalai Lama, blah, blah, blah. At the same time, that was in 1997, 98, I said, if I'm going, let me learn how to use this camera. I took my camera to India and was shooting everything. And this one monk in Dharamsala said to my sister, he said, is she from the States? And she said, yes. So he said, I want her to take my story back to the United States. And that's how I made Dharamsala, Tibetan Exile. And eventually got a video camera,
Okay.
digital.
Okay.
And now I think that's finished.
So basically, I want to understand this process. You know, so you
It's me and my camera. That's it.
You and your camera, and you go out and you go do what you got to do like a freelance photographer.
I do the
would.
best I can.
Okay. And who edits for you?
I have several editors.
You have several editors?
Yes.
Okay, good.
Right now I have two editors, Jeffrey Miller
Okay.
and David Salazar.
Oh, okay.
And I have the artist that we both shared that does Diane's, almost all of
Beautiful
Diane's.
work,
Michael
Canarac,
Okay.
yes. Who was also featured in my previous movie, Raw Visions, Art of Survival.
I
So
see.
he's featured in that movie.
And how did you get Buffalo Nation to go all the way to the prestigious Cinema Arts Center here in Huntington?
Well, it won at the Long Island International Film Expo. It won Best Documentary.
Really?
Yeah, and then in social issues and justice and protest, you know, it's all that kind of mixed in. It won a documentary, an award-winning documentary, and that was from the Indie Gathering in Ohio.
Okay.
And the Indie Fest in California gave it an award of merit. So it was a lot of work. It's a very difficult movie, but it's a very important movie.
How long did it
It's
take to make?
Well, I started filming in 2008, and I was there several times each year and a half. And then I skipped a year, and then I went back in 2013 just to bring it up to date. And in 2014, it is finally ready.
Wow. Yeah, that's
It's a lot of work to make a documentary, and it's a lot of work, and it's difficult when you're alone.
Sure.
And don't know too much about technical things.
I can imagine. And Diane, you brought up the name of the artist. You do have beautiful artwork in those books.
Oh, thank you. This, as a matter of fact, the artwork from the cat is in your Survivor art.
Oh, look at
Buffalo
that.
Nation. He
Okay,
did
there you
all
go.
the posters. He does all her work.
So that's pretty impressive on that works. And so I guess you kind of work as a collaboration team in a way.
We're
Sometimes,
family.
yes.
We're family.
We're family.
We're
Yes.
family. And they, as they say in Lakota, Mitakoye, Oisin, we're all related.
We're all related. That's
All
wonderful.
related.
That's interesting. So with a couple of last few questions that I have, how long is your documentary, by the way?
This documentary is an hour 35.
An hour and 35 minutes.
5 minutes, yes.
Very nice.
Yeah.
And so
And
how's
it's important. It's really important for people to know what is going on in our country today. You know, we're so focused on, and sometimes we need to be focused on other countries, but we often tend to neglect what we have done to our own country.
How true is that?
And the people.
That's pretty amazing. Also very political, which I'm not going to get into it on this show.
Well, after you see the movie, maybe you'll decide to get into it.
Perhaps, but working 18 hours a day that I do, literally, I don't know if I could stuff one more thing in there. That's the
You know
truth.
something?
But it is interesting, and it is important. And for those people who want to know about it, I would imagine one of the best things to do is go to the Cinema Arts Center, watch this movie. And tell me, Leslie, they can get to you, I guess, from the website.
Yes, Absolutely.
And what was the website one more time, please?
Snowflakevideo.com. And my email address is snowflakevideo@aol.com.
Good. Interesting. And Diane, one more time, if you could repeat how to get in touch with you for anything, including your beautiful toys that you always seem to share. You always seem to give away samples, and those are not cheap samples.
No, I know that, but you know something. I always try to find a charity every year. I'm going to try to do something with the Buffalo Nation, but I always try to find a charity, especially around the holiday time, or once or twice a year, and I really try to make a gigantic donation to them because it's good. It's good for my heart. It's good for them, and you know, charity goes a long way. It really does. And what you put out there, I think you also get back.
You do. I believe you do.
You do. So
and to get in touch with you, Diane, how was that again? What was your email or the best way to get in touch with you?
Kids Entertainment Inc. That's KIDZ entertainmentinc.com.
And there's a way of contact you from the
yes,
website.
Yes, info@kidsentertainmentinc.com. You can contact me right through the website, and if anybody needs anything for charitable donations, you know, I'd be happy to try and help you out.
That's wonderful. I mean, you ladies truly make a tremendous mark in society, especially, I know of your donations. I happen to know you, obviously, but the point is the children's faces, when you have that going on, I've seen them.
I try to capture it, yeah.
You do. It's priceless to see those little children walk away with something so beautiful. And like I said, these are not cheap samples.
No. No, they're very well made, in fact.
Yeah.
So.
And as for the movie Buffalo Nation, which I am very much looking forward to seeing this Tuesday, October 7th, and that will be on 7:30 at the Huntington Arts Center, Cinema Arts Center, if I didn't say it enough.
And I'll have several of my movies there if anybody's interested in purchasing.
Oh, is that right? So like DVDs or something?
DVDs. And I would just like to say Russell Means, who was one of the founders of AIM, the American Indian Movement. He's in this movie, Buffalo Nation. The children are crying. I want to make sure we get that part. The children are really crying. And I also have a full interview with him before he found out he was sick and dying of cancer. So it was a very special interview, and it's been a very special time for me getting to know and being involved with this community who so desperately need help.
You know, in our closing moments, I want to basically thank you ladies for being here, sharing with me your extraordinary situation and your beautiful handicraft work, as well as let's not forget it, that you do write music and you do write. So it's important that you're highlighted in that way. Is there any quick thing you could say to any filmmaker who would like to go into documentaries? Any words of wisdom before we leave?
Yeah, you have a job that pays you money, because I've just maybe with a few friends have given me some money and one cousin. Otherwise, I haven't gotten any money, and I'm self-funded, which also limits me in what I can do and the equipment I can buy, and it's hard, but that's not the reason you do something like this.
No, it's not,
No.
not at all.
Yeah.
It comes from your heart, and most
yeah,
filmmakers do labors of love before they get anywhere.
Right.
So, and Diane, any parting words for anybody who wants to do what you do, or maybe even a better question would be, consider purchasing some of your beautiful work?
Well, you know, I think anytime you take on an endeavor like this, especially something from scratch, the way I did this and developed it, you just have to stick with it. You have to persevere. Don't give up. I stuck with it. I kept trying. You have to tweak things. You have to change things. You know, it doesn't always work the first time, the second time, or the third time. But look now, here I am, and I've got a military contract. It's been quite a few years, but I didn't want to give up. I believed in myself. I think that's what you have to do. You have to know your stuff and really believe in yourself, and just keep at it. Too many people give up and walk away too easily.
I think everybody in the world of Madhouse TV over here in our beautiful network, in my opinion, nobody gives up, because to do what they've got to do, this truly, especially the Mealys and Tommy Marr and Janine to put our network together. This was no easy task. This is hard. And it looks easy when you're here. It's beautiful. It looks easy, but it's
a lot of work.
It's a labor of love as well, you know. And to make a documentary like yours, flying there, doing what you had to do, that's a tremendous labor of love itself, you know.
Yes, it is.
That's good. Well, I want to thank you both for being here, here on the Long Island Filmmakers Show. And I want to thank you viewers for tuning in tonight. So be good. We've got many more shows on the way. John Pilata's coming on the Halloween weekend. We've got a special 1 hour long one for that. And he's going to be able to show his incredible craft and teach that to some incredible actors. We were lucky enough to do some filming there. We have other specials along the lines coming the same way. We're even going to Inside the Screen Actors Guild, one of those things that everybody needs to know about, gets scared to talk to them, and worries that they're going to shut you down. But they're there to help, and if you want to really get something off the ground, you've got to really work with them. My name is Jerry Parisi. I thank you for tonight. I look forward to seeing you on next week's Long Island Filmmakers Show. Till then, have a great evening.
Like you don't wanna listen when I'm talking to you. You think you ought to do, baby, anything you wanna do. You gotta be crazy, baby. Just gotta be.
Ladies and gentlemen, our national anthem.